Congressman Steve Pearce recently visited Cloudcroft to announce his introduction of H.R. 1202, a bill he believes will create timber industry jobs in New Mexico. However, some people feel the bill will exempt national forest timber cutting from all environmental laws. Forestry thinner John Braziel from Cloudcroft has been involved in the timber industry his entire life and feels Congressman Steve Pearce's bill to restart timber industry jobs by putting endangered Mexican spotted owls in sanctuaries is right on the money.
I believe in everything he's proposing with this bill. We need to start bringing back the forest health, bring back industry, bring back jobs.
Cloudcroft Mayor Venable also wants the timber industry to return to Lincoln National Forest.
I think it's a very important first step in righting some wrongs that have been ongoing in our national forests, if you will. We've seen the decline of the timber industry to a point where it's non-existent.
Forest Policy Advisor Todd Schulke with the Center for Biological Diversity believes it was the Mexican spotted owl that almost went extinct because of too much cutting on national forests.
The reason that the spotted owl is listed is because of unsustainable logging and overlogging back in the 50s through the 90s.
To get some of the logging jobs back, Congressman Steve Pearce wants to create what he calls sanctuaries for the spotted owl, though he's unclear in describing what the sanctuary would be exactly.
Whatever they decide the sanctuary should look like, that's up to scientists. I'm comfortable with that. The Forest Service here, the forest is 1 million acres here. We can set aside 2,000 or 3,000 acre blocks. Those are huge blocks, and then still have a lot of timber to cut.
According to the International Trade Center, in 2006, the value gap between U.S. wood imports and exports was more than $18 million. Fast forward to last year, and the U.S. closed the gap to $5 million. Steve Pearce is hopeful his bill would eliminate the gap altogether.
I look at the imports. If we're importing timber, then let's use American timber, use American jobs to create American timber. And you can look on any website and see that by trade, we're still bringing lots of timber in. Nationwide, the demand may be off significantly, but we're still using a lot of timber.
Todd Schulke also says the demand for wood is low, and it's bad timing to push for timber industry jobs.
It's a myth that the logging industry is going to make money and not be a burden on the taxpayer. Even back in the heyday, in the 80s and 90s, there were subsidies provided for the timber industry all over the country, including New Mexico and Arizona, and that would be required again. In fact, right now, it's a ridiculous time, even if you believe in industrial logging, to try to set up a sawmill because there's no market for 2x4s. It's just a bad business plan, and I guess the congressman ought to get some help, in figuring out how to build businesses, because the timber market is probably as low as it's been in decades because of the economic problems that our country's facing.
Pearce believes his bill would create 5,000 jobs initially, but Todd Schulke would like to see an investment in small forest thinning companies instead of changing environmental policies.
Small businesses have sprung up with the support and help of the environmental community and rural communities to help restore forest conditions and watersheds and help protect communities from the fires that they're worried about. And those efforts in small businesses have gone a long ways to filling the job gap that was created by the slowdown in logging.
Still, forestry thinner John Braziel and others in Cloudcroft want to see the timber industry return, and they feel changing environmental laws is the only way to do it. For KRWG, I'm Andersen.